And now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. This portion of the show is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Rancho Leonero, where your wildest Baja dreams come true. Maui Jim Sunglasses, the choice of the best captains. Shimano Rods and Reels, fish with the best. Shimano. And by Yamaha Outboards, official motor sponsor of Let's Talk Hookup. Here we go. Another great hour of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. Here's Pete Gray and Rock Cod Rick Maxa.
Welcome back. Hour number 2, Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Pete Gray here. Rock Cod Rick Maxa is on his way to Kingfisher Charters. I'll be joining him very shortly after the show here in the studio from Inland Boat Center. Mark Dakan having a great time talking fishing boats and, of course, fishing. And if you want to join us, all the lines are full right now, but just keep on trying. 858-457-1090 or 877-792-1090. We're giving away a pair of Olukai shoes, one of my favorites, the Nohea Moku. It's a very comfortable and quick-drying shoe, perfect for the boat, courtesy of Olukai Premium Footwear. I have them on right now. They're so comfortable. And another lucky winner is going to win a 3/4-day trip on the new Liberty out of Fisherman's Landing. And speaking of the Liberty, next Saturday, Carl Schmidt from Fisherman's Landing will be our guest in the studio next Saturday talking about the Liberty and all the great boats out of Fisherman's Landing. So be sure to join us next weekend. We'll have some stories, I'm sure, from Kingfisher Charters to share with you, too, next Saturday. Hey, mark your calendar for our second San Diego County Ford dealer remote broadcast, Saturday, July 2nd, just a couple of weeks away at Mossy Ford on Mission Bay Drive in Pacific Beach. Your next chance to qualify for the big grand prize. That's a 4-night fishing package at the world-famous Katmai Lodge in Bristol Bay, Alaska. It's an amazing place. I've been there. Going again in July. It includes a round-trip ticket from Anchorage from San Diego to Anchorage on Alaska Airlines. You know, Alaska is a great partner of Let's Talk Hookup, and they now fly nonstops to great fishing destinations like Costa Rica, Hawaii, Puerto Vallarta. Hey, you can sign up for the best, their award-winning mileage program. Click on the Alaska Air banner on the front page of the Let's Talk Hookup website, hookup1090.com. You can also win a trip on the Blackjack, that great 4-pack out of Dana Landing in Mission Bay, Shimano Rods and Reels, Maui Jim Sunglasses. Hey, the prize cowboy Gary is going to be there. He's going to have a ton of great stuff given away just for showing up. And whether you make a cast in the Shimano Casting Contest or not, everybody has a chance to win that big grand prize to Katmai Lodge on Alaska Airlines. Rules and information on hookup1090.com on the guest page. We'll see you Saturday, July 2nd at the beautiful Mossy Ford in Pacific Beach, newly renovated. You got to check that out and see what's going on. They're going to have, that's one of the sell-a-thon weekends. And that is the time you want to buy a new Ford car or truck. That's going to be that weekend, July 2nd, when we're going to be featuring there. Hey, phones are packed. They want to talk to Mark, so we're going to jump into it and talk to Kenny in Hawaiian Gardens. Hi, Kenny. Thanks for joining us on Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, morning, and happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Indeed.
Hey, so I understand the Liberty has a RSW on it. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. My question is, I don't mean to put anybody down, but most of our landings up here in Orange County and Long Beach and stuff, they all are still using gunny sacks. And most of your boats down there are RSW and stuff. Is there a reason for that, do you think, or is that just the way they roll, the money-wise, or any kind of an answer on that?
I don't know the answer to that, but next Sunday, Brian Willey from Dana Horsepower Fishing, which I'm pretty sure they have some RSW, and I know 22nd Street Landing has a few boats that have RSW on them too. Maybe Brian can answer that next Sunday. I do not know the answer to that, but certainly you're right. Gunny sacks are ancient history. I mean, and they need to do. Fish is so valuable today that we catch. They need to go be more progressive and put some money in the boats and get rid of those gunny sacks and put an RSW in there. It's a costly installation, but certainly very doable. But good point, Kenny. Thanks a lot for the call this morning. Tom in Temecula, you're next up on Let's Talk Hookup. Good morning.
Morning, guys. Morning, Mark.
Good morning, Tom.
Living in Temecula, I go up to 215, and I see your facility up there, and it is massive. I cannot believe how big that thing is. It would not fit in any local city, that's for sure. Anyway, my question is, I know I have a Yamaha and 4-stroke on my 18-foot center console, and do you guys service Yamahas as well as other brands? What other brands do you guys service? Some of the listeners might have Hondas and other outboards that they might be interested to know if you guys service those. And then I know summertime is not the time to have service done on your boat because throughput on service can be a little more lengthy, but what is your typical throughput right now?
Well, right now we service, we sell Honda, Yamaha, and Mercury as far as new motors. But as far as servicing any of the outboards, I've got some really good techs that can handle about anything. And as far as time involved, we try to get people in and out as quick as possible. That's one thing that we are really trying to expand on is our service department, taking care of customers, having people come in. And, over the last 4 or 5 years, we have really made some giant strides in the number of boats that we are servicing, and take a lot of pride in. A lot of the mechanics take a lot of pride in what they're accomplishing. So
you have factory trained Honda, Yamaha, and Mercury technicians at your shop.
That is correct.
The amazing thing too about your shop is you have gel coat repair, upholstery. You kind of full service. You have trailer repair, right?
Yep, you bet.
You cover it all.
Well, we do, and that's what I think we try to separate ourselves from other dealers. We try to do it all in house, and we get a lot of friends that we've developed over the years. That that's one of the best ways of advertising, that word of mouth, and we've been very, very fortunate to have a lot of people back us and believe in us, and it's just been a fun life.
There you go. You've been doing this for 35 years, is that right?
Yeah, 35 years.
Wow.
Hard to believe.
Wow, good for you. Congratulations. Hey, Tom, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. Appreciate that very much. Hey, Western Outdoor News loaded with great information every week. You got to check it out. This week, of course, they're talking about Big Bluefin, and they're talking about the Sierras, and all kinds of great stuff in this week's edition of Western Outdoor News. They even have a sport boat landing roundup guide, your guide to all the SoCal sport boats in this week's edition of Western Outdoor News. Be sure to check it out. We have a line open, 858-457-1090, open right now. Okay, be very afraid because Tom from San Diego is up right now. Good morning, Tom.
Hey, how are you doing today, Pete?
Good.
By the way, I want to say you did a good job emceeing at the Tuna Captain Wars, or Tuna Wars Captain's Reception, whatever.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I want to also say a special kudos go out to Mike Lum. He really donates a lot and does a lot of work.
Mike Lum and Tim Baker are
And Tim Baker, yeah.
Yeah, they're unbelievable. And I don't know that you take the San Diego Union Tribune, but Bryce Miller, who was there, the new writer for the San Diego Union, wrote an article about it in today's sports section.
I was going to write into the Union and say, hey, where's the coverage? I'm glad I forgot to do that.
Yeah, Bryce is a great guy. I've been fishing with him, and he's going to do a lot more about fishing because he is a passionate fisherman.
I agree. And I do have a question for your guest. You were saying that on the maintenance on a motor, how many hours more or less is the first service or so due, would you say?
Well, on a break-in, we typically will do 100 hours. There's some people, the old fanatics, that say, well, we've got to do it in 50 hours. But really, the longevity and the dependability of the motors has just really increased. I mean, it's kind of like the car industry. They've got cars out there that they recommend spark plugs at 100,000 miles. And
it's amazing.
It really is.
And that's the way that new 4-stroke is just so. It's not maintenance free, but it's almost maintenance free. You do need to stay up on the lubrication of the low unit as well as the oil changes and stuff like that. And you have factory trained technicians and there's places, but like every 100 hours, I mean, it's pretty much that's about all you need to do after initial break-in, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, amazing. good technology. It's a new world here. I remember my first outboard was a 85 horsepower 1963 Mercury, and that thing smoked and it, man, I mean, the maintenance on the thing, it would miss, and just like it's a new world today. I'm dating myself again, Mark.
Yeah, we all have a tendency to do that.
Yeah. Hey, thanks a lot for the call this morning, Tom. Appreciate that. Let's go ahead and talk to Richard in Monrovia. Thanks for joining us on Let's Talk Hookup, Richard. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Before I ask Marcus a question, since it's Father's Day, I just want to encourage everyone, we talk about the kids often, but take your older father, grandfather, or uncle fishing if he taught you how to do it. Don't lose the opportunity. I know I missed it with my dad, and I regret it. So just, encourage everybody. If your dad taught you how to fish, even if it's not about the fishing, just take him for the experience.
You bet. That's a great message.
Mark, real quick for you, is do you guys do aluminum boats? And if so, the price is like a 21-footer, and the range it would be like, I'm looking at going off Baja a lot, replace my kayak with an aluminum boat.
Currently we don't carry a new line of aluminum. We do get a few used ones in. The aluminum boats I love, I really do, but it seems like the demand here in Southern California is just a lot different. Again, up in the Pacific Northwest, aluminum boats are just everywhere. And yet they've made some really nice aluminum boats over the years, the little Baja. They've had some really nice boats out there. One nice thing about them, they are very light. So if you have a towing issue, it's very advantage to have that. But I've looked at actually Defiance and Arima. Bo has actually got a line of aluminum boats called the Alliance, and I have talked to him several times about carrying that brand, but I'm kind of chicken to do it. As far as cost-wise, they're as much, sometimes even more, than some of the fiberglass boats. So I like the looks, I like the style, I like a lot of the things about them, but at the same time, I've been a little bit afraid to start a new line down here in the larger 22 to 32-foot aluminum boats, but you might see them there before long.
Hey,
I appreciate it.
And Richard, on the same lines of your Father's Day story there, very sadly, our guy that does our website, Chad, he does several other websites. He does the Searcher, and he does a Cedros Tackle and such. He lost his dad a week ago, and I had a meeting with Chad the day before yesterday, and he told me the news about his dad. And I took his dad and he fishing last year, and his dad is from South Dakota, and came out here to go fishing with Chad and hang out with his son. And we caught a couple of beautiful yellowtail right off Point Loma, I think like 25-pound class. And Chad told me that memory is one of the best days his dad ever had in his life. So your message goes a long way when you hear a story like that his father recently passed away, and he told me that day in his life, taking his dad fishing, was one of the best days in his life. So thanks a lot for your story. We appreciate that very much, and happy Father's Day to everybody. And take your dad or your granddad fishing. That's the message. Hey, let's talk to your saltwater guide with our fishdope.com report, Captain Dave Hansen. Good morning, Dave.
Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning. Happy Father's Day to everybody. One of my favorite times ever fishing was when I took my father fishing once. Long time ago. He bit the bullet and went out fishing with me, and I was the captain. It was pretty scary for him, I'm sure.
Yeah, that is scary, especially knowing who your dad is, Don Hansen, is one of the founding fathers of Southern California fishing.
Absolutely, and I got to take him and his buddy out, and we went and caught a bunch of yellowtail at San Clemente Island. It was pretty cool. That was one of my favorite days fishing. But, hey, guys, the wind. The wind won't stop blowing. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know. We can turn the fan off whenever you guys are ready.
How about tomorrow?
The fan on. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Okay.
Because it is blowing today. We tried to get to Catalina this morning. We got about 3/4 of the way there, and it was flat ripping. So we're back in here on the beach fishing in the green-brown water down off of San Mateo Point. The water dumped over, too. It's 59.5 degrees here right now where we're fishing. It's pretty sad.
Whoa.
Yeah, I haven't seen 59-degree water in like 3 years, so.
In June?
Pretty sad. Yes, at the end of June.
End of June. Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. But, you know, there was some very good bass fishing along the coast here in the beginning of the week before we had all this wind come through, and there was very good yellowtail fishing at both Catalina and Clemente. And I know that big bluefin's still down below there. All we need is the wind to stop blowing, and everything will come back together, guys. It's just wind, wind, wind. You look on buoy weather right now, and you just see wind every day except Wednesday. I think it's the only day the wind is not supposed to blow this week. It's pretty sad. So all I can tell you guys is be safe when you're out here. There's plenty of fish to catch. We just need that darn wind to stop blowing. That's
Indeed, and it is, the summer starts, I believe, tomorrow. So let's just turn that wind machine off when summer starts.
Absolutely. And then I hope everybody has a great Father's Day. Kelly and I are going to go out and see your dad this afternoon when I get done trying to kill fish here.
There you go. Well, give my best to your dad, Don Hansen, one of the founding dads of sport fishing in Southern California. And in the meantime, Danny's been out. There's fish to be caught. Talked to several people that caught bluefin yesterday, and there's a lot of fishing going on. And if you just watch your weather and you pick your day, you can go out there, check out fishdope.com. You got to have it if you're fishing. And you can save $20 on a new membership to Fish Dope by using the code HOOKUPNOW, lowercase, no space, Hookup Now. And if we want to go fishing with Captain Dave, how do we do that?
You guys can give me a call at 949-374-0786. I'll come with you on your boat and show you how to do it, or we can go out on the charter boat that I run in Dana Point. Either way, just give me a call or look me up on the web at yoursaltwaterguide.com, and I'll talk to you guys next Sunday. Thanks.
All right. Talk to you next Sunday, Dave. Appreciate that very much. That does free up 877-792-1090. Been a busy morning, hard to get through. There's your chance to get through right now at 877-792-1090. Jerry in Corona, you're next up on Let's Talk Hookup. Good morning. Hi, Jerry.
Hey, guys. Good morning. How are you? Happy Father's Day to everybody.
Happy Father's Day.
Hey, I'm calling in because I've been listening to you guys since forever. Love the show, and thank you for all the helpful information. But I actually have an Arima, a 1989 Sea Sprinter, and my question to Mark is do you guys have parts for the older boats, or especially like the decals and all of that?
Bo actually tries to have a pretty good supply. I can't really speak knowingly absolute, but knowing Bo, he'd probably even make the decals for you just to keep that emblem nice and bold.
I love. Would they contact you on that?
Yeah. Just give us a holler, and we'd be more than glad to try to get you whatever you need.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like about the boat is the small gas tank. Other than that, I've been out to 14 Mile Bank. It's the biggest 15-footer boat I've ever seen as far as width and everything. I love my boat, and I definitely recommend anybody out there look at the Arimas. They're very light, they're very good, and they're fantastic boats.
15-footer, man, and you're going offshore like that? That is a built boat.
Yeah, well, Mark, I think these were originally made up in Washington, correct? Seattle?
They still are. Bremerton.
They still are. Okay,
yep.
So I think they were designed for that type of water out there because it's got a pretty good bow.
It does.
I have no issues.
You bet.
It's a fantastic boat.
Yeah, and that's one thing that Bo has been working on the smaller boats, the 17 and under. They've only got a 27-gallon tank. Jumped to the 19. They've engineered a 48-gallon tank to go in those, but that's something he's working on. He's given thought of how he can put a little bit more fuel in those, make them a little bit
go offshore even
have
further.
A little bit further range.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, thanks for the call, Jerry. Appreciate that very much. Just check out Inland Boat Center. Link that on the Let's Talk Hookup website, hookup1090.com on our links page of the boat. Go to boat dealers and maintenance, and you'll see Inland Boat Center, easy to find, and their website kind of has all the contact information, how to get to Inland Boat Center in Paris there, phone calls, emails, and such. And that's one thing I'll say about you guys is you're very good about responding. Really, really do a great job with that. And show good follow-up on both service as well as sales and everything else. Appreciate that.
You bet. Thank you.
All right. 858-457-1090 open right now. And when we come back, more of your phone calls, more from Mark at Inland Boat Center. You stay tuned. This is Southern California's Sport Fishing Voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
This is Captain Art Taylor of the 95-Foot Searcher. Team Searcher would like to thank all of our great customers for their support in our fantastic 2015 season. The Searcher has a fantastic crew, great food, air-conditioned cabins and galley, satellite TV, and an RSW system to preserve your catch. Our 2016 schedule is out, so don't miss the boat. Book your trip online at searchersportfishing.com or call Celia and Jen at 619-226-2403. That's 619-226-2403.
Imagine being home in the morning and fishing yellowtail and calicos at Cedros Island by the afternoon. Now you can with Cedros Adventures. Experience world-class yellowtail and calico fishing aboard comfortable pangas with local captains that know the island hotspots. Stay in Cedros Adventures' own private waterfront hotel and experience first-class meals and service with pickups in L.A., Orange, or San Diego County. You hop aboard a scheduled flight to Cedros Island to begin an incredible experience. Trips are all-inclusive and offer old world hospitality and fantastic fishing. Cedros Adventures. Call 310-435-6353 or check cedrosadventures.com for rates and more information.
Hey, San Diego Boat Show is going on right now. It's the San Diego International Boat Show. You know, Duncan McIntosh Productions took it over this year, and what a difference when Duncan's running the boat show. You know, he, of course, founded the Newport Boat Show, and he's a partner in the Fred Hall Show. He's a fisherman, and he's a boating guy, and this shows with today's San Diego International Boat Show. Today's the last day, 10 to 6, right there across from the San Diego International Airport in San Diego. It's right next to the Sheraton. You park conveniently right next door at the Sheraton, and just go in there and have a great time. You can see the Arima boats we're talking about. You can see the Defiance boats we're talking about. They have boats in the water as well as on dry land, and a lot of great exhibitions going on right now. You can even go to the beer garden and tiki bar. Beautiful day to take Dad outside and go down where it's nice and cool down by the beach there, right on the water across from the airport, though. Again, 10 to 6 today. Admission's just $15. Kids 12 and under and active military personnel are free. Hey, do it. San Diego International Boat Show.com. Today's the last day. Go check it out.
When it comes to tackle storage, it's got to be Flambeau. Built to fish, built to last. Check out these new products designed just for anglers. The 2 new HD Series hard cases with thick customizable foam to protect your electronics when not in use. While the new HD Series tough boxes provide heavy-duty waterproof protection. Clear lids and O-ring seals keep water out while letting you see in. Flambeau's patented Z-Rust provides additional protection against rust and corrosion, keeping your valuables safe. For travel, protect your rods with a tough bazooka rod carrier. Available at Turner's Outdoorsman and other fine tackle retailers.
Turner's Outdoorsman, Southern California's #1 shooting, hunting, and fishing tackle retailer since 1971, is right in your neighborhood. Now 18 stores throughout Southern California and 3 in San Diego County. Turner's Outdoorsman brings you the best prices and selection, plus a knowledgeable staff that will help make your day on the water or in the field more fun. Stop by your neighborhood Turner's Outdoorsman. To find the location nearest you, check the web at turners.com and sign up for special deals and more.
XEPRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
You're listening to the home of the Padres.
Oh, rush!
San Diego's sports leader, the mighty 1090.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090. Pete Gray here, along with Mark Dakan from Inland Boat Centers, talking about fishing and fishing boats. You know, that website, I want to mention again, that website, inlandboatcenter.com, is an amazing portal, Mark, that you've put together. You have virtually every boat, new and used, on that website. That's a big job.
Well, it is. We've got someone that's full-time dedicated to that, and I think that as important as getting them on when they come in, it's as important, or actually more important, to take them off the site when we have them sold. It's just very, very important. I hate getting calls on anything in particular and saying it's sold. We just don't want it to happen. We don't want someone to drive 50 or 100 or 200 miles in to look at something and not be there. So we keep it current.
And so you see something on there, almost for sure that boat's still for sale.
Absolutely. The only circumstance you'll find is if possibly the day before someone came in and put a deposit on it. But other than that, we do. We try to keep it very fresh.
Yeah, and the key ones you've been selling this year, I know, have been those Defiance boats. They're built for Southern California anglers. It's been a good year for you, hasn't it?
It really has. I attribute most of it to the boat. They really are a Southern California built boat for the fishermen of Southern California.
And of value. That's the amazing thing about it.
Great value. They really do.
And you can, a new boat, you can get financing, you were saying, up to 15 years?
Yeah, 15. Actually, you buy some of the bigger boats. We just got 20 years on one of our 29-footers.
Really?
And, yeah.
Wow.
Kind of crazy.
That's impressive. Yeah. So check it out, inlandboatcenter.com. Go out and see them in Paris, or you can shop right online, and then give them a call and say, hey, I want to come out and check out this 25 Defiance because I want to go fishing next weekend.
Yeah, we've got it there for you.
Yeah, very good. All right, 858-457-1090 just opened up. You want to get through? There is your chance. Let's talk to Dave in Huntington Beach. Hi, Dave.
Hey, how you doing, Pete, Mark?
Great.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to you.
You know, there are 2-speed spinning reels that are out there. I have a Fox Sport Stratos 20,000, all billet aluminum, and it's 40 pounds of drag. And I was wondering why nobody on the West Coast knows about these things.
Have you caught some big fish on that?
120 pounder.
Nice.
Tuna.
Nice. And
it has 40 pounds of drag because they put the drag spools in the base of the reel instead of on the nose.
I'll be darned. I didn't know a 2-speed spinning reel existed, but now we do.
Yeah, everybody says that.
Yeah.
And I have it on a CalStar 4100, heavy medium, so medium heavy, excuse me.
Very nice.
Do you guys have any answers to why there's so many sharks up here in Huntington Beach?
No, I don't. But sharks are good for the population. I mean, sharks are showing a healthy water and a healthy resource. And, you know, I think maybe since we're not targeting sharks anymore and killing as many sharks, maybe and the amount of bait in the waters of Southern California is just amazing. You got all that red crab, you have just tonnage of anchovy all around. So certainly they're feeders and they're in there feeding. So that certainly could have something to do with it too. But Dave, appreciate the call this morning. That's interesting. A 2-speed spinning reel. Thanks a lot for the call. Doug in Montebello, you're next up on Let's Talk Hookup. Good morning.
Yeah, I got 2 questions. How hard would it be for something like CCA to try to help overturn our seal land population act, and then for the boat guy, any chance where solar power could actually help move the boat around, or have some to do with the engine where you don't have to burn no fuel for it anymore?
All right, I think that's 2 questions. First of all, the sea lion issue is never going to happen. It's a federal law. You know, the only thing we can hope is these problem sea lions that are creating issues with hurting people and even possibly killing people. There's some work in progress trying to get that taken care of, but CCA or anybody will never be able to overturn the Marine Mammal Protection Act. It's just a fact of life. And as far as safety on boating, you just need to be smart. You just need to practice safe boating, right, Mark?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, all right. Thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. Let's go ahead and jump back in the phones, and let's talk to Brian calling us from Northern California. Good morning, Brian.
Hey, how's it going?
Great.
Yeah, my question is, do I bait the anchovy in the tail, or I do bait it in the face?
If you're fishing an anchovy, my favorite way to fish an anchovy is collar hook. You know, some guys do hook it up, put the hook up through the jaw and then up. But my favorite way to hook it to where it lives and looks natural is to collar hook the anchovy. And it looks like we're going to have to relearn our anchovy techniques here this year, Mark, because there's a lot of anchovying around, and they're it's very possible that it could turn to an anchovy like we grew up with, and the sardines are not around. So definitely want to practice good anchovy techniques there. Hey, Brian, appreciate the call this morning. Thanks a lot for that. That does free up 858-457-1090. Open right now. You want to get through? There's your chance. You have a chance to win a pair of Olokai shoes and a chance to win a 3/4-day trip on the New Liberty at a Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. Let's go live to the boat show right now. Talk to our friend Duncan McIntosh. Good morning, Duncan.
Good morning. Great
All right.
day out here. Yesterday I couldn't believe it. We were supposed to have 88 degrees, and the next thing I know we had light showers and the weirdest day I've seen. But it was still nice.
Perfect day. I'm Mark Dakan from Inland Boat Centers here in the studio with me. We've been talking the boat show all morning, and it is a great boat show, and we're very thankful, the residents of San Diego, that Duncan McIntosh has taken over this boat show. Duncan.
Thank you, Pete, and good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Duncan.
So what's going on today? The last day, Father's Day, right?
It's the last day. It's Father's Day. We've been building up for this forever, and I'm hoping my kids will get down here.
Yeah, no kidding. So what are some of the sights we can see at the boat show today?
Well, we got a lot of boats, nearly 200. We got some face painting for the kids, food trucks. We've got seminars going on. We've got kayaks and stand-up boards out in the water that people can try out. Just a whole host of things going on.
Neat. What's the biggest boat there?
She's 110 or 11 feet.
Wow.
And I've got 100. I got 105 and 110, and just some big stuff. A Johnson 110. And what's that other boat? It's a Fraser boat.
Fraser boat. Yeah, I was impressed. It was almost like a big boat show on the East Coast with those giant boats. It was like you don't see a lot of that out here.
When you drive up to Spanish Landing, it's the first thing you see is those big boats on the north end.
Yeah. So what about access and parking? What's the best route?
Well, on the southwest corner of Harbor Drive, where the Sheraton is, there we got that corner lot. When it fills up, we move to the west side of the Sheraton. So we got pretty much unlimited parking for the day.
Wow. So you just basically the turnoff to Terminal 1 at San Diego International Airport, instead of turning into the airport, you go the opposite way. You'll see the Sheraton Harbor Island right there. The first lot is right before the Sheraton, and the second lot is just past the Sheraton.
That's correct. And there'll only be one open at a time. So when we fill up the first lot, they'll move to the west lot.
Wow. All right. So hours today, Duncan?
We open at 10. We're here till 6 p.m., and that's it. We're done.
All right. And then next up will be, you get the summer off, right?
I get most of the summer off, I guess. I haven't even thought past today, so
yeah,
we'll get to that one when we get to it.
But you did take over also the Los Angeles Boat Show, correct?
We have the Los Angeles Boat Show.
But you also have the Fall Newport Show coming up too, right?
Well, we're going to move the Fall Newport Show. I'm working on two different options right now. I just figured if we've been doing 2 shows a year every 6 months at Newport for 43 years, I think it's time for a change.
Okay, all right.
So we'll do a spring show in Newport and a fall show. Probably in L.A. County.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll keep you informed here on Let's Talk Hookup about following all the different boat shows in Southern California. But, again, if you want to get down there, today's the last day, the San Diego International Boat Show. Duncan, thanks for joining us.
All right. Thank you for having me.
All right.
Have a good one.
That. You too. All right. Appreciate that very much. All right. Let's go ahead and jump back into those jam-packed phone lines. Ron in San Diego, you're next up on Let's Talk Hookup. Good morning.
Good morning, Pete. Mark, I got a question for you, Pete. What does Mexico do with those bluefins in the pins? And also for Mark, how seaworthy are those boats in rough weather?
You're talking about the Arimas or the Defiance?
Both.
Both. Okay. Mark, compare the different rides on the Arima and the Defiance.
Well, actually, both the boats have excellent rides. I think Pete has mentioned, as a couple callers have actually mentioned, that the boats were originally designed for the Pacific Northwest, and
where the wind really blows.
Yeah, it really does. You bet, and extremely popular on even further north up into Alaska. But they're surprising how stable those boats are. I've been out as far as 50, 60 miles. I know a lot of people go further, but yet, boy, I mean, it's just not a worry in my mind. I mean, yeah, you have to be smart. You have to watch the weather. You do on any boat, but it can take it. It can take it if it's thrown at you. They really can.
And pretty impressive rides on both of those. But one of the other things I like about both Defiance and Arima is the simplicity of it. There's a lot of boats that have a lot of frills on it that you don't need. I like the simplicity of these boats. Easy to clean, easy to maintain. Simple is better in my eyes when it comes to a fishing boats.
That's right. And when using the various different bait pumps or the washdown pumps, Bo tries to put in the best he can get.
Yeah, no, that's a good thing. And as far as the bluefin tuna, a majority of that, once they fatten them up, it's all about the fat content, gets put on an airplane and goes to Japan or somewhere in Asia, and that's why they get the big bucks from those. So basically, the whole idea is they feed them high-fat diet for a number of months, get the fat content up on those bluefin, and then when they think the timing's right or they get orders from Asia, they put them in an ice bag and ship them over there. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. That does free up 858-457-1090, open right now. First-time caller on the line, Mike in Alpine. Thanks for being a first-time caller, Mike.
You bet. Yeah, I've been listening forever. I don't know, 30 years. I don't know.
That's nice.
But anyway, I haven't been fishing in a long time, and I've heard you guys talking about all these two-speed reels and all this and that. And Mike, like if I go out on an H&M trip tomorrow, say, a 1.5-day trip, and I rent gear, what are they going to hand me?
Well, I don't know about H&M, but I know like Seaforth and Fisherman's Landing do have two-speed reels that you can rent. You don't necessarily need a two-speed reel for the local fishing here. I think a nice 30 to 40, well, with this big bluefin around, like something 30 to 40-pound outfit would be appropriate. Fishing changes all the time. And what the best thing to do would be when you go to the landing, ask them what you need, what is appropriate, and they'll rent you the proper gear for that particular trip. And all the landings now have very, very high-quality rental gear. I know the guys at Seaforth Sport Fishing have all Shimano gear that they keep fresh line on there and such like that. Same at Fisherman's Landing. But the best thing to do is you book your trip, make your reservation, then talk to the guy about what rental gear you're going to need for that trip, and they'll set you up with the right thing there. Mike, thanks for being a long-time listener and a first-time caller, and please join us again. And most of all, please get out there and go fishing. Appreciate the call this morning. Chuck in Long Beach, you're next up on Let's Talk Hookup. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. A question for the guest. In looking for a used boat, I know it's important to have the motor checked out and things by a mechanic, but what should you be looking at on the hull and some of the other stuff to make sure that the boat you're buying is sound?
That's a good question.
You bet. Basically, you can always have a boat surveyed if you don't feel comfortable doing it yourself, but just getting what I recommend more than anything is not only visual, but actually taking the boat out and running the boat, make sure that it is mechanical, make sure that it does have the type of ride that you want. And that's one thing that we offer as well. Before you buy that boat, we want to take you out and show you the boat to make sure you're going to be happy with it. But when looking at the hulls, you can typically find repairs if they had been done, if they were done properly. You know, not so many of the ocean type boats do they run them up on the sand or anything like a lake boat would. But other than that, we just if you don't feel comfortable, definitely have a surveyor look at the boat.
All right, very good. I hope that answers the question. All right, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. All right, that does free up 858-457-1090. A mechanic. I know a lot of times down here we have a mobile mechanic, Bob Aronson from Angler Management, that'll come out and inspect the boat. When you're buying a used boat, is the motor the most important thing?
No, not necessarily. You can have a lot of different components in the boat that are important. Without a doubt, the motor is the most important because you don't want to get stranded out there. But making sure that the hull is good and solid and hadn't been damaged bad, I know
you never know.
Yeah, you just never know.
You could have fallen off the trailer on the freeway and had a serious damage, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And a trained eye can look at that.
That's right.
Yeah. Do you guys do boat inspections? Like if somebody buys a used boat, do you have people that you can recommend that will do some boat inspections for people?
Well, we've got several surveyors that we would be more than glad to recommend. And at the same time, we do have a lot of people come in and have us do compression tests on the motors, leak downs, just to make sure that it's good and sound.
Just eyeball it and make sure that's good. So that's something that in your service department that they would do.
That's correct.
Tow the boat in and have it checked out. All right. Very good. All right, let's go ahead and jump back on the phones and talk to David calling us from Chino. Thanks for joining us, David.
Hey, how you doing? Good. Happy Father's Day to everyone out there.
Same.
Okay, my question is that back in the days I had a 25-foot bay liner, and I used to always go off course with a compass to Catalina. And I'm asking you, these boats these days have it where it's like an autopilot, take you right to your course?
All of that's available, sure. It's just all in what you want to spend. Good GPS, I prefer over a compass, but there have been many a times that I've been out with compass only. But, boy, that GPS is, as far as I'm concerned, the best thing since sliced bread.
And electronics have become so affordable. I know we talk about Simrad a lot, and the Lowrance line, which is the same as Simrad, is the next level down from Simrad, but still equally as good. Those GPS chart plotter fish finders, they're magical, and you can get into one of those. No boat should be without one of those, in my opinion. Mark, would you agree?
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And then when it comes to an autopilot, we talked about this yesterday, all you need to do is talk about somebody that lived without an autopilot for many years, and then they now have an autopilot, and they'll give you the answer. One of them is our phone guy, Ryan Christensen. He'll tell you they just got a new Simrad autopilot on thing, and once you have it, you just can't go back. They're very, very convenient, and they make them for boats small as well as large. And it's just one of those kind of a comfort things that you could have. But electronics are something you guys carry and install electronics, right?
We do.
All right. Any particular brands that you prefer?
Well, we use quite a bit of Ray Moraine, Lowrance. We've had put Simrad on a couple of our 29s that we've outfitted. But basically, we'll definitely give recommendations, but a lot of times guys have exactly what they want in mind, and so.
And you'll install it.
Absolutely.
Installation is a key. No
Yes.
doubt about it. Hey, thanks a lot for the call this morning. Wendell in Camarillo. Good morning, Wendell.
Good morning. Happy Father's Day. I wanted to tell you about my experience with the Arima 17.
We've got a lot of Arima fans out there.
I had one that I towed back and forth from Camarillo to the East Cape and as far north as the north end of Vancouver Island, and fished it all of those places in some rough weather, and I was never more comfortable on a boat under 21 foot in my life. Caught a lot of marlin down in the East Cape and a lot of salmon up in Vancouver.
Wow, that's a pretty good history that you've had there.
Yeah, and this was after when I first moved to Baja. I had a Radden 23 with a diesel engine built, the first one, and this is what I replaced it with when I decided I was going to go up and down the road so much.
Wow, that's pretty neat. That's a great testimony for a great boat, that Arima boat.
And that design, those sponsons on the back of that boat make all the world a difference in following seas and when you cut the throttle at high speed. That's something that I haven't heard many people talk about, but it is a great design.
Yeah, you got a lot of fans out there with Arima, right, Mark?
Boy, it's surprising how many people have called in today speaking on Arimas. But there's a definite following of that boat. The people that have had them absolutely love them. The longevity of the boat, they're built to last, and so many people literally have boats that are, there's a lot of 20-year-old ones out there that is just crazy to hear the people go on and on about the Arima and the dependability, how much they've loved the boat over the years. It's a really neat thing just to be able to sell them.
If there's any doubt, try and find a used one. There's an Arima Club on the internet, and they sell overnight.
Yeah, they do.
It's true, huh? Yeah. All right, thanks a lot for the call this morning. John in Long Beach, just about 30 seconds left for you, John.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask him, what type of used inventory do you have? You have a big quantity there?
Well, we typically will have over 200 used boats. Right now, we're actually getting low. I think we're probably down as low as 125 or so. This year has been extremely good. It's like there's a demand that hasn't been around for probably 10 years.
So if you want to sell your boat, bring it to Inland Boat Center.
Yeah, you bet.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. When we come back, we're going to give away a couple of great prizes, wrap things up with Mark, and tell about next week. Stay tuned. Let's talk hookup on the Mighty 1090.
Yellowtail and Bluefin are here now, and it's time to go fishing. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle, the saltwater tackle professionals. The perfect rod to handle tough fish like these is Terramar from Shimano. The secret? TC4 construction. That delivers a rod that is light and sensitive, yet tough and powerful. Shimano Terramar should be your next rod. Fisherman's Landing Tackle has the best inventory in the country of Terramar rods and the experts to help you select them. Visit us at Fisherman's Landing Tackle at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego or on the web at saltwatertackle.com. Fisherman's Landing has been the choice of sport fishing anglers for decades with the largest fleet of long-range boats worldwide, complemented by Southern California's finest charter and open party fleet. From a half-day trip on the Dolphin, overnight trips, and soon 3/4-day island trips on the Liberty. You can count on Fisherman's Landing to deliver the best. Check the website for all that is going on or call Fisherman's Landing at 619-221-8500. Book now at fishermanslanding.com.
The giant fast lane kayaks in Mission Bay is hard to miss. Right in the middle of Dana Landing across from SeaWorld in Mission Bay. This massive 5,500 square foot location is loaded with Hobie Mirage Drive kayaks and more, including a great selection of Hobie clothing, stand-up paddleboards, paddles, and more. Check the latest from Hobie, the Eclipse, taking fitness out of the gym and onto the water. Test a new Eclipse kayak or stand-up paddleboard free right out their back door on Mission Bay. When it comes to Hobie, no one does it better than the crew at Fastlane at Dana Landing across from SeaWorld in Mission Bay. Check FastlaneSailing.com.
If the fish are biting, I'm on my boat, rain or shine. Of course, I wear my life jacket. It's like wearing a seatbelt. Clip it on, grab my tackle box, and hit the water.
Love California, Boat California, Save California. A message from California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways.
Great boats, free parking, and a fully stocked tackle shop. Just a few of the reasons Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top charter boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Eclipse, Apollo, Outer Limits, Pacific Star, El Gato Dos, Alexis, Pride, Privateer, Tribute, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth Sea Watch in San Diego offer the finest half, 3/4, and full-day trips available. Check out the full-service tackle store at Seaforth Sport Fishing. And it's all run by fishermen for fishermen. 1717 Quivira Road, just off Mission Bay Drive in Mission Bay. Book online at seaforthlanding.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Congratulations. Kenny and Hawaiian Garden June won that pair of Olukai shoes, the Nohea Moku. So comfortable. And you're going to love them, courtesy of our friends at Olukai Premium Footwear, available at tackle stores all over the place now. And the winner of the 3/4-day boat trip on the Liberty from Fisherman's Landing, James in Oceanside. Mark, thank you very much. Inland Boat Center is such a great spot. How do we find you?
We're right off the 215 at 4th Street in the city of Paris.
All right, inlandboatcenter.com, or today at the boat show in San Diego, right across from the San Diego International Airport. You'll be there all day, and you have Defiance and Arima on display.
That's right.
And the deal, too, the up to $5,000 back if you buy tomorrow.
That's correct.
Yeah, and so there is a boat show incentive today.
Absolutely.
That goes away tomorrow.
Absolutely.
All right, so jump on it. All right, Mark, thank you very much, and thanks for your support of Let's Talk Hookup, and thank you for listening today. We'll be back next Saturday. Carl Schmidt from Fisherman's Landing Tackle, Brian Woolley on Sunday from Dana Wharf Sport Fishing. We're headed to Alaska. We'll have some reports from Kingfisher Charter, our 19th annual fishing trip up there. Want to thank Ryan on the phones, Adam on the board. Thanks for listening today. We'll see you next week right back here on the Mighty 1090.